Ali Gold saying that Paratici is weighing up a move for Newcastle's Saint-Maximin this summer. Chris Waugh of The Athletic, Newcastle correspondent, saying that Newcastle would consider a bid of £40 million for Alan Saint-Maximin. However, a bid of such is not expected. What's your opinions on him? Because, you know, we've spoken about him quite a bit. End product isn't 100% there, to say the least. But he's a very tricky customer, and I really rate him as a player. Do you want to see him through the door at Tottenham?
I like him. I think he's better than Adama Traore. I think he's better than Lucas Moura. He's that kind of mould of player who's exceptional at dribbling, so effective when taking people on. In one-on-one situations, you might as well give up. You have to kind of double and triple up on him to make sure he doesn't get past you. Decision-making can be very frustrating. I actually think he's got a better shot than Lucas and Adama Traore. I think it's
anywhere near enough, though, does he?
He got 5 goals and 5 assists last season. Not for someone of his ability, it's not enough. But I do think he's got a better shooting technique than Traore and Lucas Moura. I think he's actually better in that those situations. I don't know how old he is at this point.
I'll tell you
Saint-Maximin. But I do think he's a player with extreme ability, and I do think he's 25, so
25.
he's pretty good age. Like, I think he would be a very good signing. I think 40 million, I think he's an upgrade on Bergwijn. I think he comes in, he can easily play Champions League games. I think he offers something a bit different, because as much as we have Kulusevski, we have Kane, we have Son, but we don't have, I guess we have Lucas in that role, but we don't have someone like, say, Maximin, who's that much of an elite dribbler, especially him coming in, who can play, he's more comfortable on the left as well than he is on the right, like Lucas. So I think he does offer something different as well to our attack. I think 40 million, if we sell Bergwijn for 30 million and buy Saint-Maximin for 40, I think that's a good deal for me.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And I'm really excited about Saint-Maximin as a player, and I think he does have elite qualities and top talent. It's just about unearthing the end product in his game and the decision making in his game. And I think Antonio Conte can do that. I believe that, and I think he's a player that will get you off your feet. You know what I mean? He gets the ball, and he's so hard to get the ball off. And I do think he will be more of an asset to us than both Bergwijn and Lucas Moura, which is an interesting one. But what do you guys think in the comment section below about Saint-Maximin?
Yeah, I think I'm all for it if we really want him.
Next up, let's talk about Christian Eriksen. The Mirror claiming that Man United have joined Tottenham and Everton in the fight to sign Christian Eriksen. Obviously, we brought you the news on Eriksen last week, saying that he wants Champions League football, and you know he could be swayed by the Conte version of Tottenham. Obviously, we've made it clearly known on this channel what our opinions are about Christian Eriksen, how we would love to see him back in a Spurs shirt. But if you've got the choice between Man U and Tottenham right now, surely there's only one place you're going.
Yes and no. You got to remember Eriksen trained with Ajax during his time off, and Ten Hag was there. So they might have a bit of a relationship. And maybe he would want to try something new in terms of he's been at Spurs, been there, done it. Maybe Man United, big club, under Ten Hag, who he trained under. Maybe that's something he might look at and think, maybe even though they're not in Champions League, that's something that's worth doing. From a footballing point of view, you're probably thinking Tottenham with Conte, who we worked under with Champions League football in an environment that he knows and maybe that he's more comfortable in. Maybe that's more suited to him right now. And as well, again, in Man United, in Spurs' team, there's a clear role in terms of we don't have a player like him. And when you go to Man United, they have Bruno there, they have Van den Beek there, who's going to have a bigger role. So where does he fit in? I'm not 100% sure, to be honest. So from that point of view, Tottenham's probably the better option for him. But he might fancy, because he nearly joined. Didn't he nearly join Man United? That one, or was that Alderweireld I'm thinking of? I think he was subject to a bit of Man United a few years. He was,
and he promised Levy that he wouldn't go to another Premier League club.
Right,
that's what it was.
Yeah,
and he ended up going to Inter.
But I think in the end we wanted to sell him because we wanted to get Bruno in, and then it didn't quite happen for some reason. I think maybe they didn't offer enough. We wanted 50 million and they were
something like that, yeah.
Less than that. So maybe it's something that he would seriously consider. I don't think it's a foregone conclusion. If between us and United, he definitely chooses us. I don't think it is. But I hope he does, because I think he's such a great player. And I love him so much. I think he's brilliant. And I think he would be such an asset to our squad. And I think he would really boost Man United as well. And especially the way Ten Hag wants to play, I think he would be a big asset to them. So I wouldn't want him going there. But it is possible, because I think he knows Ten Hag now. And, you know, I think it is definitely a possibility.
Interesting.
Maybe they can offer more. It's possible they can offer more money as well.
Yeah, maybe. But obviously we've got enough money, you know. We can offer him top wages if we wanted to, you know. How much do you reckon he would even command in wages right now? What are you saying, 150, something along those lines?
Along those lines.
Yeah.
You'd have to think so. I think he left Spurs probably earning like 80 grand a week or something like that.
Probably less, yeah.
You know, he needed more than that for the level he is. But I think if Man United were pushed, they could probably outdo us.
Yeah. Another one. The next one is a very interesting one about Gabriel Jesus from a journalist called Massimo Pavan. And he says Tottenham have offered 47 million euros to sign Man City striker Gabriel Jesus and want to finish the deal as soon as possible. Do you know this journalist? Do you see any truth in this?
I don't know who it is. Never heard of him. Tuto Juve or something, wasn't it?
Massimo Pavan, his name is.
Never heard of him. I don't know
I think that's what he's from. Yeah, Tuto Juve.
I mean, which maybe is a link to Tuto Mercato, maybe? I don't know.
Tuto Sport,
or Tuto Sport. I don't know. I know they are reliable, but I don't know if it's a genuine link there. I'm just putting two and two together. But maybe it could very well be agent putting out there to quicken Arsenal up, because that's where apparently they're the ones who are serious right now about bringing Gabriel Jesus to the club. So, I mean, for me, I think 47 million euros, if that is genuine and we do get him in for that kind of price, that's a pretty good deal, I think. I would take that.
Even with 1 year left in his deal.
Yeah, because I don't think it means anything. Because unless he's genuinely there's a chance he'll run down his contract. Then, if someone else is going to snap him up, then you're losing him. So it doesn't mean anything that he only has 1 year left on his deal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think it'd be a good signing. I think he'd be a very good player, because he's Champions League experience. Can play up front, can play out wide. I think he's got great quality. He's a good pressing forward as well. He's very hard worker, good technique, good finisher. I think he'd be a very good signing, but I just think I think he's probably better off at Arsenal if I was him. But I think if we can convince him, I think it'd be a good signing for us.
I know you're a big fan of Richarlison. Which player would you prefer through the door, Jesus or Richarlison?
It's a difficult one, you know. It's a difficult one. I think I probably would rather Jesus, just because we're probably more in need of a backup, more someone who can play mainly up front and then secondly out wide potentially. I don't know, actually. It's difficult. I don't know who I'd rather, Jesus or Richarlison. I think Jesus is probably just about the better player. So I'll probably go for Jesus, but it's tight. I think Richarlison is great. I love Richarlison as well.
In my mind, I think it's clear on Jesus. I really think it's clear. I think, first of all, Richarlison plays a bit more off the left, and I think that we probably, if we were to sell Lucas, we would need someone more off the right, and I think Jesus is more adept to that. I think as a number 9 as well, I think Jesus is better than Richarlison at doing that, and I think that the quality of the two players, I think Jesus is better in terms of just, out and out quality. So I'd prefer Jesus, in my opinion, than Richarlison.
Fair enough.
But what would you guys want? Would you rather Jesus or Richarlison? In the comment section below, let me know what you think. Let's talk about Steven Bergwijn now, because he's been talking, Louis van Gaal's been talking, and Fabrizio Romano has also been talking about the situation. Van Gaal said after his international game, he says, "If it's up to me, Steven Bergwijn may join Ajax as soon as possible." And he was also talking, Gary Jacob brought it to us, and he says Tottenham forward Steven Bergwijn is the subject of a £70 million bid from Ajax. And the quote from Steven Bergwijn was, "It's difficult for me. I play well for the national team, but when I return to the club, people turn a blind eye to me. I need to find a solution." And the reporter asked him, the solution seems clear to you? You need to leave. And he says, just plain out, yes, he does need to leave. And Romano this morning gave us an update and says that Tottenham want around 30 million euros to let Steven Bergwijn leave this summer. Ajax are working on it with an official proposal, still waiting to reach an agreement with Spurs. There are many clubs interested in Bergwijn, but Ajax are on it since January. And I believe I was reading somewhere that Everton are another club that are interested in bringing him in. But it looks as though, I mean, these Ajax rumours and Ajax talks haven't gone away for ages now, and I believe it will get done at some point.
It's sad though when you see him playing so well for Holland, and then you see the quotes that he feels like he's invisible when he goes back to his club, and he's not respected and no one sees him for his true quality, and Van Gaal brings him into international duty and gives him all the confidence, he says, and that's why he wants to leave essentially. And it is sad because I think he's a player who came with we bought him with such high hopes. I think he started so well and then it kind of went wrong for a while, but I think it's a shame because next season I do believe he would get the game time that he so craved, but it's almost like it's come too late because he's already made his mind up that he needs to leave. And from that view, it's just a sad situation. I mean, I actually kind of don't agree.
I thought you were going to burst into a blue song there.
I don't agree that he needs to leave for the betterment of his career at this point, actually, because we're in Champions League. I think if he stayed, he would get good game time next season, and he could even be playing Champions League football next season, and maybe that could give him the confidence. But I just feel like the fact that he got so little game time in the second half of last season, especially after that Leicester moment, when was the hero and he got the winner of those 2 goals, and it looked like for all the world to see he was going to start finally getting some more game time after, and it never happened. And it wasn't even his fault why it never happened, because whenever he came in, he played well, so he couldn't do much more. It was the fact that we were playing 1 game a week, and Kulusevski, Son, and Kane were just so good.
Yeah, Kulusevski and Son, they were so good, but the fact of the matter is Lucas Moura always got on the pitch before him. Yeah. And Lucas Moura wasn't playing well whatsoever, and Bergwijn was limited to 2-3 minutes here. And I kept saying, we both kept saying, like, what does Bergwijn need to do to get more minutes? I mean, we're not even asking him to start, but to come on half an hour, 20 minutes, something like that at least, to show what he can do, not just give him 2-3 minutes here and there. Yeah,
and the fact that I don't know. Look, I don't know what happened behind the scenes. I don't know whether Bergwijn was sulking and Conte was getting frustrated by it. I don't know whether Lucas was amazing in training. I don't know. I don't really know what the situation was behind the scenes, to be honest. But for one reason or another, he always chose Lucas over Bergwijn, and maybe that's what truly made up Bergwijn's mind as to the reality was that he had to leave.
I think so.
He will go on to be a good player for Ajax. I think he'll smash it out in the Eredivisie, and again, like he did for PSV. And I think he'll be a very good signing, and he'll earn his place in the World Cup, and he'll probably earn a move back to another good club in either Spain, Italy, or England. I'm sure of it, but it's not going to work out. 30 million, I think, is a fair price for someone of his ability. I know he hasn't scored too many goals for us, but I think if you're looking at a player with Bergwijn's ability, I think 30 million euros is fair, especially with his age as well. So I don't think that's too much to ask.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I think someone is Ajax are getting a very good player there.
If it is Ajax, they're saying it's not done till it's done. And the Ajax haven't sealed a deal, and Romano saying there's many clubs in for him. Do I think in Bergwijn's position, do I have to go to a club in Champions League, or would I go to an Everton? I don't know. I want to go to a club where I'm definitely starting. He knows that Ajax. Everton at the moment, they have Richarlison on the left, so that'll be a difficult one unless they put Richarlison up front. So I don't know if I'd be desperate to go to Everton, but I think there are other Premier League clubs.
Richarlison's looking to leave Everton, so it could be a good kind of replacement for him.
I would definitely use Bergwijn in a make-weight for Richarlison. I think a very good deal for us.
Yeah, well, it's interesting. We'll have to see how it plays out, but I do kind of expect him to go to Ajax at some point during this window. We're looking for 30 million euros. They've they've had a bid rejected of £17 million, so they're not that far away from each other.
And another interesting thing is as well, Conte spoke about how he's been how he likes Bergwijn in the number 9 position. And that's where Holland have been using him. And he's been getting a lot of joy there.
Yeah.
I think he's actually got more goals for Holland in the past year than Spurs, which is amazing enough. And obviously his 2 goals against Leicester both came when he was up front as well. So we keep talking about and signing a striker, and then we have someone who can kind of do that role. We're letting him go, which is just it's a shame. I actually think if you asked Conte, would you rather keep Bergwijn? Just in terms of his quality, I reckon he would say yes. But I just think Bergwijn's made his mind up.
Yeah.
And at this point, it's probably just best to let him go.
Agreed.
Which is a shame.
Agreed.